join us as soon as he comes. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this Meet the Indian Panorama series. Today we are meeting with our IP directors of the non-feature section. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Utpal Borpujari, Mr. Mohan Bagade, Umesh Mohan Bagade, and we'll wait for our third. And I would like to introduce Mr. Subimal Bhattacharya, who is the producer of the film Memories of a Forgotten War, and Mr. Professor Vijay Pawar. What the format that we follow here is the filmmakers make an opening statement to the press, and then we open the house up for question answers. I would request Mr. Utpal Borpujari first to make an opening statement, then we would ask Mr. Mohan Bagade to make a statement.
Good morning, everybody. My film, is in our film. He's my producer, Subimal Bhattacharya. We made the film together. This film is called Memories of a Forgotten War. It's a feature-length documentary which is on the battles of Second World War, which were fought in Manipur and Nagaland. That is the last frontier where the Japanese forces could advance. And in the Battle of Kohima, they lost in 1944. And that was their first defeat in Second World War. So my documentary is on the memories of those battles. So when I say memories, the film is through the memories of the people who fought in those battles and people who saw those battles happening in front of their eyes, the villagers in the remote mountains of Nagaland and Manipur. My film has around 29 interviews of veterans who fought from the both sides, from Britain, from Japan, and from India. And their stories are really fascinating. The way they recall those memories, the way they survived in those jungles, the way they saw their colleagues die, and very young people who died there. Some of them were aged 18 years, 19 years, like that. So through the film, basically, though it's a film on war, basically I feel it's an anti-war film because, at the end of the film, you get the message that, it's all futile. I mean, after 70 years, in my film closes with that scene where one Japanese and one British soldier, they are meeting and shaking hand, and the British soldier is saying that we are like boxers, we go to the boxing ring, fight with each other, and maybe after that we go out and share a beer together. But some of them become friends later on, and they are victim of circumstances, because of their job, the kind of job they are doing, they have to fight each other. They don't have any personal enmity as such, but they represent their, armies, and they have to fight. So it's the film. I have treated it like an emotional journey of those people who fought, and also those who saw those battles happening, because the battles happened in a place which had nothing to do with the World War. The villagers in Manipur and Nagaland, they had nothing to do with the battles that was happening between the British and the Japanese, or the British and the Germans, or any of the battles. But they were caught in the crossfire, and many of their homes got destroyed, many people got killed. So the film tries to document all of that. So maybe after Umesh makes his statement, my producer would also add to what I have just said, because he also went to quite a few of our shooting locations, and he also interacted with the people, so he can also recall some of the incidents there. Thank you.
Hello friends, myself Umesh Mohan Bagade, writer-director of Chaukat film. चौकट ये मराठी वर्ड है और इसका मतलब है फ्रेम या फिर बाउंड्रीज़, जो हमारी परंपराएं या फिर हमारी विचारों की जो बाउंड्रीज़ है उसको हम चौकट मराठी में बोलते हैं। चौकट ये फिल्म 12 मिनट की है, पूरी मराठी लैंग्वेज है, और ये फिल्म जो है वो कोल्हापुर से आई है। कोल्हापुर महाराष्ट्र का एक सिटी है, आपको पता ही होगा। चौकट का जो मेन कंटेंट है या फिर एक वन लाइनर है जो मैं बताना चाहता हूँ इस फिल्म के द्वारा, वो ये है कि जिस तरह हम किसी पत्थर में भगवान देखते हैं या फिर किसी फ़ोटो में भगवान देखते हैं, उसी तरह या उसके पहले हमें इंसान में इंसान को देखना चाहिए। इसी बात को, इसी चौकट को मैं अंडरलाइन करना चाहता हूँ इस फिल्म के द्वारा। कहानी दो शख्स की है, सिर्फ दो कैरेक्टर्स की है। एक भूखा आदमी एक घर के सामने आ जाता है और उसको कुछ खाना है, तो एक जो हाउसवाइफ है उसको बताती है कि अगर पूजा नहीं होती है मेरे तो मैं कुछ खाने के लिए नहीं दूंगी आपको। तो वो भूखा आदमी वहीं पे बैठ जाता है और उसे लगता है कि अगर मैं कुछ काम करूं तो ये मुझे कुछ खाने के लिए देगी। तो वो कुछ काम करने के लिए लगता है और वो आंगन साफ करने के लिए लगता है। तो वो औरत फिर से उसको बुलाती है और उसको खाना देती है। फिर भी वो आदमी क्या करता है कि वो एक ही रोटी खाकर पूरा आंगन साफ कर देता है। आंगन साफ करना ये एक सिंबॉलिक है। आंगन साफ करना इसके थ्रू मैं दिखाना चाहता हूँ कि मन साफ हो जाता है, कुछ बुरे विचार या फिर जो बाउंड्रीज है वो साफ हो जाती है। फिर उस लेडी का रियलाइजेशन और उसके द्वारा वो खुद भगवान का भोग जो है, वो थाली है, वो खुद उठाती है और उस आदमी को देने के लिए चली जाती है। एक सिंपल सी कहानी मैं बताना चाहता हूँ जो कि हमारे खुद के लाइफ से जुड़ी है और सबको ये कहानी अपनी ही लगती है। आज चौकट इतने फेस्टिवल में जा चुकी है, वहाँ फेस्टिवल में देखने के बाद सब लोग आते हैं और हमें कहते हैं कि यार ये तो कहानी हमारी ही है। मैं इसी एक छोटे से इंसिडेंट्स को इस फिल्म के द्वारा आपके सामने पेश करना चाहूँगा। और ये हमारे एक्टर है प्रोफेसर विजय पवार जी, उन्होंने एक मेन कैरेक्टर उसमें निभाया है। मुझे लगता है कि हम उसमें उनका ऑन है सर, और कुछ डिटेल में बताएंगे आपको।
मराठीत बोललं तर चालेल नक्की? इंग्रजी अवघड आहे अशातला भाग नाही. भाषा अवघड नसते, विचार अवघड असतात. There are two chaukuts. Two frames are there in our thought and in our mind. That means I speak different. मी चालतो, वागतो, बोलतो एक, आणि मी करतो, स्वतःला सुरक्षित करतो, ती एक चौकट. चौकटी दोन आहे. विचारांची, संस्कारांची, परंपरांची, भूकेची, श्रद्धेची, अंधश्रद्धेची, या दगडी भिंतीला लागून असलेली एक चौकट ओलांडून बाहेर येण्याचा प्रयत्न करायचा. माझ्याकडे जेव्हा ही भूमिका आली तेव्हा विचार मी परिवर्तनवादी चळवळीच्या दिशेने केला. आय वॉन्ट चेंज. मग माझ्या भूमिकेत इन माय रोल देर इज संत गाडगे बाबा, देर इज महात्मा फुले, बट रोल इज नॉट that is not that person's role, but the thought is there. Naturally, I understood I must not play a role, I must play a thought of these persons. And it is very difficult to me, so I took my movements from Sant Gadge Baba, and my looks I took from Mahatma Phule. महात्मा फुले स्ट्रेट बघत, सरळ बोलत, आणि गाडगे बाबा निवांत निघत, काम संपलं की सावकाश सावकाश चालत. मुझे वो मिल गया. बाकी डिटेलिंग किया मैं, और बाद में मैंने कैरेक्टर किया. हे कॅरेक्टर मी जेव्हा नंतर सिनेमात बघितलं, पडद्यावर बघितलं, तेव्हा माझ्या लक्षात असं आलं की येस, मी दिलं. हे थॉट्स, हे विचार, हे डिटेलिंग मी दिले. आय एम समाधानी, प्लेजरस इन मूड आफ्टर दॅट. थँक्यू.
Mr. Niranjan Kumar Kujur has joined us here. He is graduated in cinema with a diploma in direction and screenplay from SRFT Kolkata. He is from the Orang community who lives in, sorry. Mr. Niranjan Kumar Kujur has come. Welcome, sir. To give a brief introduction to him, Mr. Kujur is from the tribal community of Orang, who lives in the areas of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Orissa belt in India. He has graduated in cinema with a diploma in direction and screenplay writing from SRFTI Institute in Kolkata. His film Edpa Kana, which was featured, which is a part of the non-feature films in the IP, has been screened yesterday.
Yeah.
I hope most of you got a chance to watch it. And the synopsis of the film, if I may tell you, is the main protagonist goes back to his village with an agenda, and at home he discovers that his parents have chosen a bride for him. And then he's caught between the dual realities of a traditional village life and his progressive city life, where he tries to speak out his mind. That is, I think, the struggle is depicted. So, I request you to make a brief statement.
Yeah.
After that, we'll open the house for...
Thank you so much for this opportunity. The film's name,
On.
yeah, the film's name is Edpa Kana. It means going home. This film is about, it's very common in this incident. What this film depicts is very common in like every household in Jharkhand, among various tribes in Jharkhand. If you would have been followed certain history, there has been some incidents like in tribal areas. A lot of conversions had happened over a period of conversion, like religious conversions have happened over a period of time. So in this film, the protagonist. The protagonist and his love life, the girlfriend, they both come from the same community, but there's a problem of this religion problem which happens between them, and it is a true incident that both the communities tries to convert the other people into their own community. Like if a girl wants to is in love with a Sarna, there's a religion called Sarna. So that boy coming from the same tribal community, so she would ask the boy to get converted to Christianity, and the boy would also ask the girl to convert to Sarna. This conflict has always happened, and I have seen it through my eyes. And since tribal communities are still very orthodox, so there's a lot of tussle and a lot of like inborn hatred towards each other, although they don't portray it in the bigger picture. And I myself come from that community, so I thought probably I should bring this thing up, because in the when you talk about tribals, there's always either there's very good things about them or very bad things about them. So this was an attempt to make people feel that this kind of problems which is there in the mainstream civilization is also there in the in among us. And the whole idea was also to to show our people that look, you cannot just condemn other people about your problems, because there are certain problems which you yourself have, and you need to understand this and take a solution out of it. Thank you.
I request the producer of Memories of Forgotten War, Mr. Subimal Bhattacharya, to share his experiences while shooting the film.
Thank you, Ranjana Vaido, and good morning to all of you. I think Mr. Borpujari has already laid out everything, but I come basically from a defense and cybersecurity background. So as a producer for the first time, I found this whole subject and topic very close to the fraternity and the community with which I was associated, the military personnel and all. And the film has a lot to do with getting veterans who were well past their 90s, So as he had mentioned, about 29 veterans interviewed in India as well as in UK and Japan. And of course, there are many things to say, but I'll just leave one point with you, that when the shooting was happening in Japan, at a place called Shonai, far away in Yamagata province, where a 94-year-old British veteran was meeting a 93-year-old Japanese veteran, and when both of them are shaking their hands, and all the crew and everyone who assembled, and when they were shaking, even before they could shake their hands, they were in tears, and everyone around except the crew, he and his team, were all in tears. Now this is the emotion that wars and battlefield that can bring. So even enemies on the other side, meeting after 70 years, yet they could feel a certain sense of bonhomie. So underlying message, what I wanted to say is that peace and brotherhood, that's what takes this world forward. And then there are many instances in the film where people have spoken that ultimately, you always should yearn for peace and not look at war to solve any kind of problems. And just a thought as I was speaking, as I remembered that one of the biggest discovery when Utpal did the film was that President Obama's grandfather had also come and been there in the Northeast India during the course of the Second World War. So there are many other discovery stories which anyway it can be shared later. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, all of you. Welcome to this session, first session of the morning. I request all of you now to please switch off your mobile phones or put it on the silent mode. Please introduce yourself with the name and of your name and the name of the organization, and we'll take the first question now. I hope most of them got a chance to see, but there's so many films happening.
Hello, I am from a vernacular press. I have seen a very beginning part of your film, Memories of Forgotten War. But what I feel is you have not dramatized the events. You have shown only, most of the part you have shown only interviews. That was done. What is the reason for that?
See, dramatization actually is very easy, to recreate something. But what I wanted to do was that we should keep it as real as possible. And the people I was interviewing, probably they have never spoken about, some of them have never spoken about these memories earlier. And once they, pass away, they are at a very advanced age. So once they pass away, those memories will also go with them. So I wanted to capture as many memories as possible, these very individual, personal memories. So that's why I kept aside the dramatization part. And also in documentaries, it's always, I feel it's better to stick to reality as far as possible. Because if you dramatize and recreate things, it becomes like a television feature, there is a difference between how you depict the reality in television and how you depict reality in documentary films. So that's why I, adopted that structure.
Hello sir, I'm Kumar. A famous English anecdote says that when two elephants fight, it is the grass that is always punished. So how is the response of the villagers, the veteran in the villages when this movie is being shot, or how is your experience of that?
Yeah, wherever we went, we found incidents in very remote villages where people suffered because of no fault of theirs. Just because Japanese walked through their village, then the British would bomb them. If the Japanese had eaten in some village, the British would bomb them. It's like that. So they suffered like anything. So they were very happy to share those memories. Happy as in they are very bad memories, but still that they were very happy that someone has come to capture those stories and take those stories to the outside world. And we both come from the Northeast. We both come from Assam. So we also feel that is part of our own history, which is not known to the outside world that much. Not many things about Northeast are still known outside. So we thought we should also try to bring out those stories. And we got many interesting stories. Like one person in Manipur, he said how, there were 3-4 Japanese soldiers who died in front of their next to their house in a gunfight. And there were a lot of stories, even in Hollywood films you have seen in Band of Brothers, they show how these people, they try to extract the golden teeth of the Japanese soldiers. So they actually had an incident like that. They said, we heard that the Japanese had golden teeth, so we went to extract them. But because the bodies has bloated up and they were stinking, they fled from there. So these are like, hair-raising stories if you actually think about it. So we found a lot of interesting stories, and they were also quite excited to share and, tell. I think many of these interviews can actually make, one feature film. They are such exciting stories.
Hi, sir. This is Faizan from Delhi. I have a question for the Britain. Send many allied forces from India that has Sikh regiment in it. So did you ever get a chance to interview some of those people?
We interviewed a few. The Sikh regiment was not there, I think, in the Second World War in the Northeastern Front, in the Burma Front. Maratha regiment was there. Kali Bahadur regiment, which is a Gurkha regiment, that was there. And Jat regiment was there. But very few people are still alive. That is the problem we faced. And we located General J.F.R. Jacob, who passed away recently, who was a governor. So, Goa and Punjab. So his last interview is for our film. And he actually had fought in Burma. He didn't fight in Manipur and Nagaland, but that is the same battle zone. So his interview is there. Then we have some veterans from Northeast who has been never interviewed, who are live in remote villages in Northeast, in Manipur. So we interviewed those. And we interviewed several veterans in Britain who had fought in both Manipur and Kohima. Similarly, in Japan, we interviewed people who fought there. So there was one problem area, finding the veterans, and then finding the veterans who remember those things, because, some of them have, they have fading memories. They don't recall those things. The oldest person I interviewed was 96 years old. The youngest was 92 years old. So you can imagine the age bracket. And also, one thing I have to share is that, since the time I have made the film, at least I know of at least 5 veterans who have passed away. So that is the stage we actually interviewed them. So that way it was like finding the veterans itself was a challenge, and that's why we couldn't find many of these Indian veterans that way. We found some, but then we found that he cannot talk. He is bedridden, he is paralyzed. So that way we had to leave out some of those people. Yeah.
Any more questions? The 2 other films, if you all have watched or if you're planning to watch it. Yeah.
There was one man in the film yesterday who was 93 years.
3 films,
Forgotten memories of forgotten war. And he was 93 years old, and he spoke about pension. So I wanted to know whether through the film, has helped any of these veterans, or were they really forgotten in history, and now through the film they have come, been recognized?
Right. Subimal has some interesting information to share about that, I'm sure. So he will tell you about it.
Yeah, that's a very good point you picked up. Since we haven't really released the film to an audience, and yesterday was the first pointage which we showed, but we have sensitized the senior army leadership about the film, and many of them have privately seen it. Now there are a lot of those people from Assam regiment and others who have been left out, who didn't get the pension. The army is definitely interested to take their case up and take it forward, and has already asked us to give a list of those people whom we, in the course of our making the film, were able to gather, have been left out of the pension system. So we should have this very soon. And last week, that was the 75th anniversary of the Assam regiment in the functions in Shillong. And the Deputy Chief of the Indian Army, who is also the Colonel Commandant of the Assam Regiment, is personally conversing with me about that list, and they really want to take this forward. So we should be able to help them in that.
My question is to Mr. Niranjan. You shot a very sensitive and, issue like on the conversion and of this religion. So was there any resistance from the tribals?
Actually, if you see the film is very balanced out. It's not taking any side of any religion. Although I leave the film, and also I leave the film at such a point that the audience keep guessing that what happened exactly. Like after they're going somewhere, but where are they going? So overall, wherever I showed the film, I showed it even to the religious, meetings. Like church has also screened it for like 3-4 screenings. They have done it in Jharkhand, and even the Sarna tribes, they have done it 3-4 places. So the response was good because it was very balanced out, and the film actually picks up the debate, and it tells the people to look within, basically. So there was not much of resistance. Actually, people welcomed it, and they said that if you would have told us the solution as well, it would have been better. But I said that I can't tell you that this is not my, it's not my responsibility. You guys have been doing this and fighting among each other, and you have to come up with it. All I can do is just, push for a certain change of mentality.
Do you feel these people needs to be sensitized on this issue?
Take the mic, please, sir.
Do you feel these people, especially the tribals, needs to be sensitized on this issue?
On this conversion issue. See, my personal stand would be like, see, there are certain things which has happened in the past, like that conversions have happened. Although in Jharkhand it has not happened that much. We are like 4% Christians and the rest are non-Christian tribals. But that sensitization has already happened. It is happening. But the problem with the sensitization against conversion is a lot of leaders, it is very easy for them to, spread a hate message, and then sensitize them. But, but this kind of thought that, you have to accept whatever has happened, you have to accept them as, as one of yours. And that feeling needs to be generated right now. That sensitization has happened, that it has lowered down, the conversion has lowered down.
Hello Niranjan, this is Vinod again. Niranjan, in respect to your this thing tribal, I'd like to remind the anthropologist and sociologist very well, whose themes and policies that we have been, the government of India and the nation has been following for some time. And your film depicts about the problems of assimilation from the mainstream society.
Yeah.
Can you just elaborate on what positive aspects the tribal has got from the assimilation?
Positive aspects. Of course, there are always positive and negative ones, both. We have been, obviously, we have mostly seen the negative aspects more actually. There's the positive ones are basically, it's when you come up, it's kind of very difficult for a civilization or a society which is very small in number to survive without getting influenced with the other one. And it is so widespreading that we have to accept certain values and the kind of systems which is the mainstream civilization has. So now, with the mainstream civilization, what we learn would be, would be limited to a certain kind of, it's more about learning a system, and, it's more capitalistic oriented and, that growth oriented kind of a, like, money. All these things are more there. It's not, that culturally or the value system of the tribal I feel that it is much more superior in terms of, that feeling of that community, those sensibilities which are getting lost, that people could, if somebody is talking, people could just stand up and just leave. These kind of things are there, like in the mainstream. But with us, it's like, if somebody is talking, we sit and listen, and we have to nod. So these kind of values are there. So I personally have been in this mainstream civilization since, my education and all, everything happened, and my parents pushed me to learn English and all. So, but if I look back, there's not actually much in terms of, being a person, being a human being, like a community human being. There's not much I could learn from the mainstream civilization.
Hi, my question is to Mr. Umesh.
Yeah.
As you said that, I haven't got a chance yet to see your movie, sorry about that. The way you said that the lady in the movie has, first of all, she says that she won't give the food. Hello. Yeah, then later on she gives the food to the old man. So is it a message from your side to change her mentality?
मैं जब ये कहानी लिख रहा था या फिर उसका एक स्ट्रक्चर बना रहा था, तब मेरे दिमाग में एक फिट था कि वो लेडी जो है वो विलन नहीं है ना, विलन नहीं है, सिर्फ वो किसी परंपराओं में बंधी हुई है। तो उसी परंपराओं के अंदर वो बोलती है कि मेरी पूजा होने तक मैं नहीं दूंगी आपको, फिर भी वो देते हैं क्योंकि वो उसको शायद दया आई होगी उसकी। तो मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि कई बार हम लोग ना सोचते हैं कि नहीं ये गलत है, फिर भी हमें वो करना पड़ता है किसी प्रेशर के अंडर या किसी परंपराओं के अंदर। तो ऐसी वो दुविधा में है कि इसको दूं या ना दूं, तो वो सोचते ही वो दे देते। मुझे लगता है कि सर भी कुछ कहना चाहेंगे आपके इस पॉइंट पर। सर आप कुछ
There is drastic change in that woman. First of all, she's going to follow the rituals, parampara and all that. But the change in his personality, her thinking way, is because of that person. But he is not beggar. He is nomadic, from nomadic. He is a man of thought. He is a man of work. After all incidents, a change in her personality and thinking. When she knows that my angan is totally clear, and then she ran away towards that old man to take this. This is the change of thoughts, personality, thinking of that woman. This is basic, I think.
यस जब वो कहानी का जो क्लाइमैक्स है उसमें वो पूरा साफ करके निकल जाता है, उसको और ज़्यादा खाना भी नहीं चाहिए, वो निकल जाता है, फिर उसको रियलाइज़ होता है उस लेडी को, यार मैंने क्या कर दिया, उसको तो मैंने पूरा खाना भी नहीं दिया, एक रोटी दे दी, फिर भी उसने वो साफ करके चला गया। और वो अंदर आती है, भगवान को देखती है, भगवान के सामने इतना बड़ा भोग रखा हुआ है जो कि खा भी नहीं रहा है, कुछ हिल भी नहीं रहा है, जो भूखा है उसको तो मैंने नहीं दिया, मगर यार ये खा भी नहीं रहा है और उसको मैंने इतना भूख दिया, उसको तब वो रियलाइजेशन होता है और वो उठा के वो थाली उसको देने के लिए भाग के चली जाती है। ये कहानी उसी रियलाइजेशन की है सर। बरोबर,
आपण लोकांना काही देत नाही, देवापुढे आपण मोठं नैवेद्याचं ताट ठेवतो, हेच तुम्हाला सांगायचं होतं ना त्यातून।
मला आणखी एक त्याच्यातून गोष्ट नमूद करायची आहे की मी हे नाही सांगत आहे की तुमचा देवावर विश्वास ठेवा किंवा ना ठेवा, हा जाता प्रश्न। मला इतकंच म्हणायचं आहे की जो भुकेला आहे त्याला आधी द्या। आपण म्हणतो ना देव सगळ्या गोष्टीमध्ये आहे, चराचरात आहे, मग त्या भुकेलेला दिल्यावर त्याला देवालाही पोहोचेलच की, है ना।
त्यातला रिअलिझम आय थिंक सो असा आहे की माणूस केंद्रित व्यवस्था आपल्याकडे नाही आहे, देवकेंद्रित आहे, संकल्पना केंद्रित आपली हिंदू व्यवस्था आहे, माणूस केंद्रित नाही आहे। आणि जेव्हा माणूस केंद्रित व्यवस्था येण्यासाठी परिवर्तन आवश्यक आहे, व्यक्तीच्या विचारातलं, भावनांचं, वागण्याचं, प्रत्यक्ष कृतीचं परिवर्तन, बदल अपेक्षित आहे. आणि माणूस केंद्रित व्यवस्था यावी, हा त्यातला रियालिझम आहे. आणि ती देवाला नैवेद्य दाखवल्याशिवाय येत नाही वगैरे, दॅट इज आयडियलिझम, संकल्पना मराठीत आपण म्हणतो. रियालिझम इज रादर डिफरंट. स्टोरी के अंदर एक स्टोरी होती है भैया, और वो स्टोरी ये है कि बदलो, खुद को बदलो, चेंज योर सेल्फ एंड फेस द ह्यूमन प्रॉब्लम्स, नॉट गॉड.
So, sir, this way you are saying that rather than following the traditions, one should follow humanity and the human
Absolutely,
values first, right?
absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Kujur. My question is to you. I'm from All India Radio Goa. You talked about not being able to learn too much in terms of a value system when you entered mainstream society. I work with youth and youngsters, and we often attribute, older people will often attribute the deteriorating state of society to the fact that our young ones don't have a value system. Now, from observation, I think a large part of that is because we don't actively take the effort to pass on that value system. If you even look at just what's being passed on in schools through value education, through moral science that many of us had when we were young, there was an active move to ensure that we passed on those sensibilities in some way to the next generation, which I think we don't do today, even in the home environment. Have you found anything particular in the tribal communities, especially with relation to the young or the next generation, an active movement to pass it on such that those sensibilities are retained? Like you said, you know, whether we're actively involved in a conversation, whether we are nodding, whether we're acknowledging, whether we're standing, all of those things which today I think in normal society we don't consider it important enough unless we've had a third older generation in the house, where then because by force of habit it gets passed on to the young ones. Have you observed that they have actually a mechanism to pass it on to the next generation?
It's this mechanism बोल के ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. It's just, you know, it's values. You know, nobody teaches you values, and it's like it just gets passed on by how you see your older. Like if I'm the youngest, if somebody is like 3 years old or 5 years old, and they see and observe how elder ones are behaving to their elder ones. So this way, this kind of things they get passed on. Obviously, the tribal society is also changing very fast, actually, and punk has come in, and with this, like Jharkhand and all these areas, Jharkhand, Orissa, and it's like mining areas. So there are so many mining institutes are there. So most of them are now that cash has become so important that every kid is being sent to these mining schools. Like my protagonist is not in mining department, but he is also an junior engineer in an iron smelting factory. Like the pressure of this society is like that. So things are changing, and that value system is still there. Like but the hairstyle has changed. Like that mushroom kind of hairstyle has come, and everybody just they like taking selfies, and they do this and that. Like that kind of things are there. But as of what I have observed, that system, that value system of this kind of respect, like even when sometimes we need trees to cut, we have to first pray to the tree and take a permission, and then we cut not a big tree, but yeah, those kabhi shadi mein we need some this thick logs. So that kind of things are there. So it gets passed on by observing, like it's just your environment is like that. So it just gets passed on.
Any other questions?
My question is to all of you, and in general question, I want to know, I'm curious about your opinion about the role of film, in general role of art in the social changes. Utpal ji, also Power sir and Niranjan.
So you go first.
Me? Okay. This is a very difficult question. I mean, it has been debated and discussed since centuries maybe. But if you ask me my personal opinion, see, art only reflects the society. It cannot change society. I mean, all through our film, what he has shown in his film, what he is talking about, though they are just, and even in my film, though it's another reflection of the society. So we cannot change the society. We can only present a picture of how the society is. And as an audience, when you watch a film, when I watch a film, we imbibe that message directly or indirectly, and then that realization comes in one, okay, this is a wrong thing or this is a right thing, this should be preserved, this should be discarded. So that message comes, but art cannot change society at all. I mean, whether it's a painter or poet or filmmaker, it's the same story.
A very good question. Art is not going to create Kranti and all that, but it is the important cause for Kranti.
Yes.
Important cause. Because cinema is a media to tell your thoughts to others, to tell your questions to others. And then there is reflection of questions to finding the answers. The art is not separate from society. It is major part of society for questions, for change, for humanity, for war, for calmness. So that question have a multi dimensions also. But I think so that art is a part of society, and it is a very, very important cause for the change. Not for Manoranjan only. Not for Manoranjan. It is to teach, it is to listen, it is to understand. When I read Aristotle's Saundarya Shastra, after that I understood that, अरे ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ सिनेमा देखो और एंजॉय करो. ऐसा है कुछ देखो और सोचो. सिनेमा से मुझे बोलना चाहिए, सिनेमा के साथ बोलना चाहिए, एक्टर के साथ बोलना चाहिए, कला के साथ बोलना चाहिए, कैमरा के साथ बोलना चाहिए, तो मैं अपने में चेंज ला सकता हूँ. आई बिलीव इन चेंज, एंड आई थिंक आर्ट इज अ पार्ट, वेरी आई थिंक इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट इज आर्ट टू चेंज आवर सोसाइटी. थैंक यू.
Yeah, I completely agree to both the gentlemen. Art बहुत कुछ, मतलब it's not empowered to change the system, like change the system. It's very, because it's like मैंने तो आपको रास्ता दिखा दिया, चलना तो आपको है, तो पकड़ के तो नहीं चला सकते ना लोगों को. तो वही बात है आर्ट के साथ. We can just show you the way, we can just mirror your image to yourself, and that is that change. But I have been thinking about this, but there is one change which did happen. बॉलीवुड ने बहुत सारे लव स्टोरीज बनाए, उसकी वजह से प्यार करना आसान हो गया लोगों को. बस वही.
इफ़ यू डोंट माइंड, मैं एक बात कहना चाहूँगा. जब चौकट को लोग देखते हैं और फेस्टिवल के बाद लोग आके हमें पूछते हैं बहुत सारी बातें वगैरह. एक इंसिडेंस है, एक लड़की आई थी मेरे पास फिल्म देखने के बाद, और वो बोली कि तुमने जो लेडी दिखाई है वो मेरी माँ है. और मेरी माँ ऐसे ही करती है, सुबह उठती है, खुद खाने के पहले वो भगवान को जाके भोग वगैरह लगाती है, मगर मैं आज यहाँ से जाऊँगी घर और पहले उसको बताऊँगी कि माँ ऐसा मत कर, चाहे तो पहले तू खुद खा फिर भगवान को दे दे। मुझे लगता है कि ये मेरे लिए ये था एक अच्छा सा रिस्पॉन्स था जो मैंने फिल्म बनाई थी उसके वजह से।
Take the mic, please. Then we take the last question. Yeah.
I'd like to add one more thing. In my view, art does change society. You can take the examples of French Revolution in the previous era. Recently, in the modern times, I'll give you an example.
No, are you asking a question?
He's adding.
An observation. One documentary that has been created in 1979 has created a multi-billion-dollar industry. You may be remembering the documentary, The Pumping Iron. Before that, there was no fitness industry in the entire planet. But after that one single movie, there was an enormous surge, one document, and a multi-billion-dollar fitness industry came to be after that. So it does. That's my observation.
Yes, please.
मेरा सवाल आप तीनों से है, मेरा नाम हुसैन है। जब फिल्मों की बात आ रही है, आप तीनों की फिल्में जो है अलग अलग फिल्में हैं, लेकिन वो फिल्में सिर्फ फेस्टिवल तक ही सीमित रह जाती हैं, जबकि हमारे पास और भी बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं। वहाँ तक आपकी फिल्में क्यों नहीं पहुँच पाती हैं? व्हाट इज़ द रीज़न? तीनों से।
ओके, ये है, ऐसा है, हमारी फिल्में ज़्यादातर फेस्टिवल्स में ही देखी जाती हैं, पर वो प्रॉब्लम ये भी है कि एंटरटेनमेंट चाहिए होता है लोगों को मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम। ये सच है, मतलब आई हैव एक्सेप्टेड दिस फैक्ट एंड प्रॉब्ली वन हैज़ टू चूज़, यू नो, हर तरह की फिल्मों के लिए जगह है, हर तरह की सोच के लिए जगह है संसार में। इफ़ देयर इज़ अ राइट देयर इज़ अ लेफ्ट। सो इसमें क्या है कि आप हमारे जो जनता है उनको एंटरटेनमेंट ज़्यादा चाहिए होता है।
पर जब प्लेटफॉर्म्स की बात है, वी हैव सो मेनी ऑप्शंस, like right now we have internet,
Okay.
YouTube, we have Netflix, we have Hotstar. There are too many platforms, but we are not able to see your films there. We are hardly get any films. उत्पल सर की एक आध दो मिल जाती है, बाकी तो नहीं मिलती।
नहीं, फिल्में नई बनते के साथ तो अपलोड नहीं किया जा सकता। देरी के बाद करते हैं लोग, देरी के बाद काफ़ी लोग करते हैं, काफ़ी लोग करते हैं।
I would like to just add to what you observed. See, now actually you can access lot of good content on the internet. There are a lot of websites where you can access fantastic short films made in India. You can access lot of documentaries from all over India on the, you have to only look up on the net. And secondly, I think with the, you mentioned Netflix, Hotstar and all that. Yeah, those are very big platforms, and Netflix is actually putting a lot of emphasis on India right now. So, I mean, that's a fantastic platform for films like our film. And because I can speak about my film personally, because it's about one particular aspect of human history, the Second World War, which is like, it impacted the whole world. So I strongly believe that it has the potential to reach an enormous amount of international, viewership. Only thing is that since yesterday was the world premiere of the film, so from now the journey starts, and hopefully you will get to watch it on whatever your favorite platform is pretty soon.
मुझे लगता है कि दोस्त अभी जो
आपकी फिल्में अभी इंडियन पैनोरमा में एक बड़े फिल्म के साथ दिखाई दे रही है, जब लाइक बोथ फिल्म्स हुए, डॉक्यूमेंट्री और फीचर फिल्म्स। वैसे ही आप जो मल्टीप्लेक्स में होते हैं, जैसे बड़े मल्टीप्लेक्स में भी आप ट्राई क्यों नहीं करते कि जैसे कि इंडियन डॉक्यूमेंट्री फिल्म एसोसिएशन ऐसा करना चाहिए कि कुछ फिल्में बड़े फिल्में के साथ भी छोटी डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज
दिखानी चाहिए। बहुत अच्छी
टेस्ट है, ऑडियंस का टेस्ट है, वो चेंज हो रहा है। आप सभी जानते हैं कि इंडियन ऑडियंस जो है वो जो अच्छा कंटेंट होता है उसे बहुत अच्छी तरीके से लेता है, जो अच्छा नहीं होता है उसे नहीं लेती है। तो आप जानते हैं कि प्लेटफॉर्म्स है, सो लाइक उस वहाँ तक क्यों नहीं पहुँच रहा?
नहीं, मैं यहाँ पे एक नाम ऐड करना चाहूँगा कि आपने बताया कि प्लेटफॉर्म का फेस्टिवल के अलावा बहुत सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं जैसे कि सोशल मीडिया, और आजकल तो बहुत सारे चैनल्स भी शॉर्ट फिल्म्स को एक प्लेटफॉर्म दे रहे हैं। वो अपने में कुछ स्लॉट्स दे रहे हैं जिसमें हम अपनी शॉर्ट फिल्म शोकेस कर रहे हैं, तो वो एक प्लेटफॉर्म है। और आज का जो यूथ है या फिर आज इंटरनेट हमारे हाथ में आया है, तो बहुत सारे फिल्म्स अपलोड भी किए जाते हैं। और रही बात हमारी फिल्म्स अपलोड की, तो हाँ, इफ़ी के बाद हम भी अपनी फिल्म अपलोड करने वाले हैं।
Just second, please. First of all, my friend, I must say thanks to Goa government and IFFI committee or all the members, because they gives us a platform to show our Chaukat film. Very, very thank you.
May I add one line? Yesterday I saw your acting. Or I must tell Professor Pawar, your eyes were very powerful and it's a great acting that you did.
Thank you, sir.
So I hope all of us get a chance to watch these 3 films. Sounds very interesting. And I wish all of you the very best of success in your films. And thank you, friends. We have the next press release in a little while at 12 o'clock.